Alright, the next question was actually a series of questions. So hold on here. Switch application. 5. Okay. Okay, first one was whoops. Back. Alright, let's try this again. Stop listening. Okay. For anybody who might not know about my situation or wants to be refreshed about what happened, I guess basically what happened. And I was vacationing with my ex and her family in Wildwood, New Jersey. And we left Saturday, and Tuesday, August 18th, 2009, I was out on the sandbar in the ocean and jumped and didn't realize there was another sandbar, and I broke my neck at the C4 level. And so they went, there's actually a scar underneath my chin, so they went underneath here to go around back to insert 2 pins. If you're friends with me on Facebook, you should be able to see those pictures of my x-rays. Pretty interesting, but yeah, so that's what happened as far as the accident goes. And then so the 18th, I remember I was face down in the water and knew I couldn't move my arms or legs. Didn't know what to do. I remember I was, the ocean's obviously moving all the time, so my head was bobbing up and down, and I could hear people yelling at me, thinking I was messing around, just holding my breath, trying to be silly, I guess. And I kept shaking my head, and it's the only thing I could do, thank God. Face down, and finally they realized I wasn't messing around, and actually my ex was the one who turned me over and I guess for all intents and purposes saved my life. Go figure. So I guess I don't know, she just turned me upright so I could breathe, I imagine. But I'm not going to say smart enough, but I guess I was conscious enough to hold my breath the whole time I was underwater, which is really odd because you think they say most people that are in diving accidents aspirate water, which means you swallow it and it gets down into your lungs and you're more prone to pneumonia and other issues. So anyway, she turned me upside down and they were yelling for help, and I remember her stepdad came in and a bunch of other guys and helped drag me up to the shore. And then I'm not sure, there might have been some things that happened in between there. I remember my ex told me that she was, I don't know if she was not holding me, but she was next to me and she was crying and upset, and she just told me, or she was bawling, and I guess she told me that I told her just to calm down and everything's going to be okay. Little did I know, I didn't realize I just broke my neck and was a quadriplegic, but I guess at that time that's proof that I didn't understand. Well, hello, cat. I'm making a video, go away. So yeah, so then I got drug up into the shore. Then a truck came, I guess like a police or lifeguard truck or whatever. They put me on there on a stretcher, put me in the back of the truck, drove me up the beach. Anyone's familiar with Wildwood, the beach is really long, excuse me, to walk to, from as far as the boardwalk goes out to the beach. So they drove me up there, then carried me up the steps, and there was an ambulance waiting at the top, and they drove me to a baseball field where a helicopter picked me up and flew me from Wildwood to Atlantic City. And I was in Atlantic City at Atlantic Care for 10 days, I believe. So that puts me at September 28th. Then I was taken to Magee in Philadelphia via ambulance. And that was a rehabilitation place. Or still is. It is a rehabilitation place. I was there for, I think, maybe a few days, and I got pneumonia. So they had to take me to Hahnemann Hospital in Philadelphia. I was there for, I don't know, maybe a week. I came back and I think was there for a little bit, then got pneumonia again. Had to go back to Hahnemann. It's just a mess. So I was at Magee until sometime in November, and then I went to Select in Harrisburg, supposedly to be weaned off of the vent and my trach and everything. And that place was absolutely horrible. The people were nice for the most part, but they had me so drugged up that I actually went backwards instead of forwards as far as my breathing goes. So I was released there from December 8th, 2009. So basically I left Friday of that August week, whatever it was, and I never saw my house or my bed or anything again until December 8th. So it's kind of crazy. Then I came home and I was not in good shape. Was hooked up to oxygen. Had a trach in my throat. Had to get suctioned. Had a ventilator, coughulator, which I'm sure most of you aren't familiar with, but I can't really explain it this time, so if you're interested, check it out. Google it. And I got my trach removed and was able to breathe on my own as of February 2nd, 2010. Well, okay, so today is actually 1 year anniversary. So go me. Haven't had any setbacks since then. I haven't been sick other than getting pneumonia twice. Thank God. I've been pretty lucky that way. So there's a lot more details that go into it, but that's a general idea of what happened and what took place. There were some other questions related to that. Do I want to say, hey gang, if you're at the beach, don't ever do this? And obviously I would say, don't assume that just because it looks deep in the water that it is, because, well, here I am. Was it a fluke accident, or were you just at the wrong place at the wrong time? Or do I think I made a mistake that could have been avoided? I'd have to say yes to all of those. It was a fluke accident. You know, how many people jump in the ocean and this doesn't happen to them? Wrong place at wrong time. We could have sat 20 yards down to the right on the beach and went out and it would have never happened. But you can't think about that kind of stuff. And did I made a mistake that could have been avoided? And obviously I did. I assumed that the water was deep where I jumped, and it wasn't. So that was definitely a bad mistake, bad call on my part. That could have easily been avoided. So I think that's it for this one. Alright. If you want to know more details about this, let me know, but I mean, there's obviously more intricate details, but that pretty much covers the timeline. Alright guys, thanks for the question. Start listening. Start listening. Minimize. Mouse grid. 8, 6, 2, 3, click.